Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Points of Light. I am Darlene Mamadi, one of your hosts. Tonight we have Brian, my other co-host. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, everybody. Have a good day before we start.
Jennifer will not be here because she is sick. She has that lovely little stomach flu that's going around. So everybody just send her love and prayers and a giant bucket just in case. She might try and stop by later, but we're not gonna bug her too much. Our guest today is a dear. Actually, I met her through Brian. Brian gave me her name. She's probably going, oh God, Brian, I'm going to kill you now.
No, see, I stalk everybody. That's the problem.
Gonna drop kick me to the room. Anyway, my guest today is Jacqueline Mitchell. Now, okay, let's get bio out. For her whole life, she has had the awareness that there is much more than just a physical being journey. We are much more than just physical beings journeying through this life. That the essences of us was underestimated. The value of the journey here, amazing, wonderful, and incredibly valuable. It has been a journey of self-discovery, working in companionship with her loving guides, teachers, and other loved ones in spirit, and her higher self. Jacqueline works as a full-time medium, counselor, and teacher. She believes that we are all unique and amazing and only use a small percentage of our gifts. I think I got that right. Sorry, lost track. I'm like a cat. When I see something shiny, I look away. Jacqueline believes that it is our right to be all that we can be through our spiritual and intuitive being in conjunction with this physical experience. When Spirit asked her to do this work, she agreed for the simple reason that we have forgotten who we are and how amazing we are and how much we are truly helped by the other side, helping people to know that they are loved and how supported they are on their journey, and helping them to understand themselves and love themselves is part of her journey. There's so much more, but I'm going to let Jacqueline share directly from herself. Stop giggling.
It's Scott making me laugh.
I know.
Nice colour, Scott, and lovely sense of humour. You've pretty well summed it up, actually. I have actually lived my whole life seeing things slightly differently from other people. For me, everybody, it's not about the meat suit. It's about the frequency that you are, the colours that you are, how you live and you breathe, and also amazing attachment with the other side, who's like a big support structure for us. So it's certainly been an incredibly interesting journey to date, and I've met some amazing people such as yourself and Brian along the way, which I feel really, really gifted and honoured to actually have those connections. Thank goodness for the internet. It's just brought everybody so much closer. It's wonderful. So basically, also, I always say to people that you're most entitled to pick my brain cell for anything that you kind of want to know or not want to know. So I'm not really too sure exactly whether you had an agenda or want to have an agenda or...
I never have an agenda. The only agenda I have is to keep Brian out when I can, is unmute him as often as possible. That's my only agenda in life.
Why do you think I'm sitting here quiet? I think I'm not doing this stuff. No, it brings a bit of clarity in, and I think that's good. Life is too serious at times. There's too much rubbish going on around the world. If we, in our very small way, can cheer a few people up, I think it's worth every cent in the world.
Absolutely, and it basically sums an awful lot of things up, Brian, really, because where your intention and your focus is, that becomes your actual reality. And as human beings, we have this amazingly wonderful brain that we let get distracted with the small picture, you know, what will I wear to work today, will people like what I'm wearing? What's my hair like? All of these things that cause a tremendous amount of energy to be expended, but in the scale of things, they really aren't actually that important. And so we use this fantastic brain and energy that we've got to focus on stuff that really doesn't actually mean very much. And when we do that, a really weird thing happens. The universe goes to work massively to try and get our attention, to get us to actually pay more attention to the bigger picture. So we can have people that say, things always go wrong in my life, people are always difficult in my life. In reality, it's the universe trying to actually illuminate for you that your focus has become very narrow and you're only looking at the small things, not the big things. Now, we all know there's a synchronicity, and probably the most asked questions that I get is, will there be another job, or will there be something else? Will there be another partner? Those sorts of things are always actually givens, depending on where our focus and intention is. So there's a big spiritual picture going on all the time, basically. We're just really very narrow at times of where we actually put our focus and our intention. So if we understood that the universe is responding to us all the time, and our support crew of loved ones and guides and higher self is overseeing everything, we'd really be a lot better off just surrendering and not sweating the small stuff and having a hell of a lot more fun. And I think you'd agree with that, Brian.
But this is, there is too much emphasis now being put on negatives around the world. To be quite honest, I rarely put the television on. I might watch the first 5 minutes of news and think, well, hang on, Mr. Trump's on again, let's get rid of this. Turn it off. I would sooner, I'm writing a book, but I would sooner come in here and sit in front of the computer and be able to pick the positive things in my life that I love. I don't often talk to Darlene, because she doesn't fit into that category, because she's always muting me.
I don't mute you on Skype.
I know, only because you can't.
True.
No, it's honestly, you make your own life. If you want to be negative, you will be negative. I don't. I love being positive. I can make a laugh out of anything at all that's going. The bloke next door gets a little bit upset at times about it, but that's his problem, not mine.
No, it is, and that's the wonderful thing about the earth plane. Down here on the earth plane, it's an evolutionary journey. You're here to learn about yourself. You're here to understand more of yourself, and best of all, you actually get to decide where your choices are. This is a free choice planet, so you can put your focus and intention on whatever you want to, and the universe immediately goes towards responding to that. And I think that we forget that. We forget that massively, that part of our experience is we're pre-programmed. We have half a dozen more options than what we think we have. And all the time, it's very, very fascinating. For me, I don't think I can ever get bored studying human beings. It's part of the role that I have on the planet and off the planet, is to actually work with people, both past and present, so that they can actually have an understanding. And I think the one thing someone asked me the other day what I ran on, and I ran on hope. Hope that we will work it out. Hope that we'll see the bigger picture. Hope we will love each other. And I think that's an integral part of what we're down here to do. So we are on a big global push to head towards freer choices, to come out of the suffer to learn philosophy and into a create to be philosophy over the next 6 to 7 years. And we are slowly, because matter is dense and takes a while to catch up, starting to learn what we do want and what we don't want. One of the inherent traits of human nature is we hate change. We hate change. We perceive that we'll lose something or it will cost us something to have to implement change, and yet we are in danger of creating very sedentary, very structured, caged lifestyles unless we actually embrace our own evolution and change. So it is a fascinating time to be on the planet. So well done for being down here at the moment as well.
She's wonderful. Oh, by the way, while we're all here, good day to Mr. Eric Glynn, a friend of mine for years now, and glad to see he's back on the surface. On you, mate.
I don't know if he's on the surface, but he's
Yes.
he's picking up, so I guess it's okay. We have quite a few names in the chat room today, so I'll be giving a shout out to everybody when they come back. I do agree that we worry too much, and it's funny because I did, one of those little Facebook things. What will you be remembered by? What phrase will you be remembered by? And I did it, and I guess Facebook, whatever it goes, yeah, I'd probably be mute, Brian. That'll be here. But Facebook and this little app thing, Majiggy, said, went back and through my words of wisdom and decided that what I will be remembered by is worrying won't make it get better. It will just, It will just eliminate us from enjoying the good times. It won't get rid of the bad times. It'll just eliminate us from enjoying the good times, which is true. Because for me, I think that, there's a whole bunch of, no, I would not say that. That's not my phrase. I think, and here's me, that's it. I think there is so much negativity out there, but if we can all focus on, like I say, I can find a good in everything. I can even find a good in Brian. It's called Pauline.
One of my favourite expressions is go forth and multiply. So guess what?
No! No.
Oh,
Behavior.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's no, it is. You look around and it's a beautiful life. But there again, there's lots of people that, they're struggling to bring up their kids or pay the mortgage or, pay their rent. And it's the greed in this world which is killing everything off. And I won't be a part of it, to be honest. We don't buy anything unnecessary. We just plod along on a week-to-week basis. We're not rich, but on the other hand, I think we're rich in happiness. So I think it's great stuff.
It isn't, and that's part of the evolutionary understanding, because if you take yourself back 30 years, Brian, would you have actually thought the same way? And the evolutionary understanding is that we start to really embrace what we want to do, where we want to go, how we want to do things. And don't forget, we come through the veil to forget to be fully present within the human experience, so that we can actually learn about ourselves, what does serve us and what doesn't serve us, hop out of societal philosophies about who we should be, jump into embracing who we need to be for ourselves. These are all evolutionary changes, and that's what's so important. Right at the moment, as we're transitioning out of a suffer to learn philosophy and into create to be, you'll be hearing a lot more people say, I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not working for the whole of my life. I'm not staying in a relationship that I feel stagnant in anymore. These are soul-driven changes that are being implemented at the moment for where we're moving forward. That's what I mean. This is singularly, and I remember a lot of my lives. I've been on the planet for a long time. This is singularly one of the most evolutionary times I can remember being down here. So this is, I've been probably waiting for this for about 40 years, really, for this to click into place and people start to embrace where we're going. I do know that upstairs is a little bit concerned at our probably, what's the best way to word it, our reluctance to move forward from the suffer to learn philosophy. But if we've been under the philosophy for 2,000 to 3,000 years, then we do actually have an innate programming that this is the best way to learn. In all reality, our souls know that it's time to stop learning the hard way and get into truthfully being our creative being. And I think that this is where we're a little bit slower on the uptake as well. So you've got that divide going on you're talking about, Brian, where some people are wanting to move forward out of the old philosophy and other people are stuck in limbo land in the middle, and the rest of them are fighting to hold on to the suffering that they know as so familiar, because the concept of understanding that you can create what you want is so incredibly foreign. So it's a very, very divided time on the earth plane at the moment. So it's an interesting time.
It is. I agree with you 100% there. But, Eric's remark there, it's easier to be happy in a Mercedes than it is on a push bike. I don't necessarily agree, because if you've got a Mercedes and you've got all these trimmings to go with it, you've got all that stuff you've got to worry about, you've got to make enough money to keep them all going. Whereas a push bike, a drop of oil every 6 years would do fine. You know, it just depends how you look at things, isn't it? You know, I'm a very, very firm believer in, I mean, you've got to tell, I mean, I'm partnered up with Mama D, and as I say, I'm very, very happy with simplicity personally. So.
I'm not sure if I should take that as a compliment or not. But I don't know about being happier in a Mercedes than a push bike. The only reason for me personally is I don't have a driver's license. So, and I can't drive. So I can ride a push bike. Yeah. But as for driving, they won't give me a license to drive. The only thing I drive is people crazy, and I'm really good at that. Ask Brian.
Yeah, ask Terry. He comes up even more.
I do not drive Terry crazy.
Oh, you have done, love. Many, many, many years. Anyway, yes, no, honestly, it's in this wonderful life. You know, we do live very simply. We don't overindulge. We rarely go out. We go out to see our, you know, kids and our grandchildren and so on and so forth. Why for would you need more? Actually, I'll be honest here. We're going to go away to up to Munta, which is about 180 kilometres north, and we're going to go and have a 5-night stay in a motel, which we got on the cheap anyway. So that'll do us for a while. But this is all, you know, it's looking forward to those sort of things that I think makes our world go around.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's sometimes it's still an evolution of getting to that understanding of where you actually want to align yourself as well, because a lot of it is to do with personal soul growth, personal soul experiences that you're due to have. But also, Brian, do you remember as well what you do is that when we lose somebody in our life that's really important to us and we have no control over keeping them here on the earth plane, it simplifies everything that we decide to do. When my dad was killed in a plane crash 2 days before I'd seen him, and I was in a hurry to go to a business meeting, and I said to him, he said, "Hoy, come back here and give me a kiss goodbye." And I said, "You know what, I'll get you next time, I'm in a hurry." There was no next time. So once you've had experiences where you actually lose a person that you care about, it does actually really shape and form you to simplify how you deal with people, how you honour people, what you want to bring to people, how you want to turn up. There's a multitude of different experiences that come in very strongly once you've actually had experiences of losing people that you care about. And I know every single light worker that I've worked with over the years, or talked to over the years, has had one of those pivotal events that has actually made them more conscious of their choices and more ready to embrace choosing to actually walk hand in hand with spirit. So I think that's probably happened to quite a few people as well.
This is, you know, it came to me some many, many, many years ago, probably more, before most of you were even born. But it came to the fore more when I met up with Pauline, and it's just sort of grown ever since. And now, to be honest, it does feel, I should say, a good 90% of my life. I help people out online. I go around doing bits and pieces locally. It's all good stuff. It's nothing that one could boast about. I don't like the boasting idea. I just like just being me. I think, as you say, simplicity is the best.
I think that when we... Go ahead. No, you may guess. Go ahead.
I think sometimes we're also, upstairs has these lovely analogies that they talk to me about at times. And, I remember questioning, I was about 17 years old, and I was saying to them, what the heck? We get thrown down here, and it's kind of like with a machete, a good luck note, and a piece of cheese. And you've really got to carve your own way. And they said, well, you're only ever here to plant seeds. Only here to plant seeds. You're here to plant seeds of kindness, of compassion, of understanding, of empathy. Those are your seeds. And you'll struggle at times to give those seeds to other people. And they will hold on to those seeds, some of them. Some will plant them, some will throw them away, some will hand them on. But that's what you're here to do. And I think when you realise that, you start to actually realise that you're not actually responsible for those people's belief structures or what they're doing. You just gently keep handing on your seeds, keep on walking, and those that want to find you in alignment because they want to share seeds too, and grow things together, then they're going to find you. That's the way that it works. And I love the awareness of that has come in bigger and bigger and bigger over the last 40 years as well. I mean, I feel like we're finding more of our tribe. We're finding more people that resonate with us. And we're getting into a space where we're actually consciously, not just subconsciously, choosing alignments that upstairs calls it truthful alignment. So we're coming into choosing a truthful alignment to the way that we want to live. And I love that. I've been waiting forever for this to happen. So it's great.
Eric in the chat room said, in all the time I've been working with Spirit, the most honest people I have worked with were as poor as I was. No trappings, no falsehoods, just the love of Spirit. Mm-hmm. It's true.
100%, Eric.
Yeah. I mean, I guess everybody starts off, this is the way I see it, everybody starts off on the same level playing field. And if you still love what you're doing, if you still, for me, still love helping people, then that's what counts. Even the people who have big TV shows and have, the mansions, I can't tell you if they're all happy or not. But if in their hearts they still love what they're doing, then yes, I would say that they're still happy. But sometimes stuff gets in the way of showing it,
Well, life does get in the way at times because you've still got to live, even though you've got all these plans in your head for doing the various things. There's many, many times in my life I've found that you tend to pick a road, and when you get up to the position of being able to get on that road, something else will come up and push you right away from it. But I always look at what it is, well, it matters not to me. I'm still going in that direction anyway. So, you just plod along. But my biggest and greatest concern was all of the time not knowing which path to take, because there are so many different things that one can do. Then you find, after a while, you're restricted on the things that you think you might be able to do. You find that, Eric's found his niche in life. He's got Teddy and the churches that are around him. Over here in Australia, no, we don't have that. We've got a few churches around Adelaide, but most of them are more intent on making money, and I don't agree with that, so I don't go. So I would sooner spend my time the opposite way around, working and helping people rather than trying to take money off of them. There's so many different routes that you can take, and whatever one you choose, if Spirit doesn't want you to take it, you won't be there. So that's how I live mine. And Pauline is exactly the same. Silence is gone. I thought for a minute you'd muted me again.
No. Oh, Eric has a question in the chat room. Jacqueline, everyone was waiting for the spiritual nexus that occurred over the last few years. Have you noticed a change in the way and the quality of spiritual communication?
Yes. And so have you, Eric, please. Because it's a big change. We shifted from what I call proof of life, which is fine, because proof of life is also important. But, you know, if I had to sum it up in a sentence, Upstairs has got kind of pushy about pushing us on the pathway of living, breathing, having our beautiful lives. I mean, they're still 100% supportive, but they're not coming through to the same extent, or I've noticed it personally, they've not come through to the same extent saying, it's great Auntie Margaret here who had a clock, a gold watch that was really important, and, they're pulling through. They'll still pull through facts, that's absolutely fine, or names or whatever, but they quickly turn around, and I work full-time doing this work. They will turn around really quickly and focus on areas where they can teach you how to self-nurture, where you can take ownership, where you can free yourself from obstacles. There's a remarkable amount of ownership that they're trying to actually get people to do in conjunction with their support. So yes, an answer to your question, yeah, that's exactly what seems to have actually changed. It's not so much of a reassurance thing, it just seems to be that almost at a soul level, our higher selves are really trying to interact with us really fantastically in conjunction with spirit and the way we communicate to get us to take more ownership. So that's the one thing I've really noticed. And looking at colours as well, I think you've noticed that as well.
Okay, I typed it in before, but if anybody has any questions, like Eric, I would like, good girl, type it in capital so I can pay attention. I pay attention to everybody, but just in case I miss it. If you have a question, if you have a comment, for those people who are new to this show, just type it in. Don't be shy, because this place, there is the only question that's silly or foolish is the one that you haven't asked. So ask away, pipe up. It's a fun and wonderful place to be. So, now, Jacqueline, you have been connecting with spirit since you were young, since you were born, that you can remember. What was the first big aha moment for you?
With spirit, Well, we know I'm a twin, so I came into the earth plane not by myself, because I had the willies about coming back down again. So I chose to come in with someone else, but I chose to actually set up with him a very big rejection thread. So my twin has actually rejected me, which is absolutely perfect, because that was also part of my learning and my lack of courage of coming in by myself, to be presented with a situation where I would have to deal with the rejection of the person that I came in with. Fabulous learning, absolutely love him to bits. He's such a big illuminator. But when we were born, I wouldn't breathe. We had a tremendous amount of problems keeping me on the earth plane. And the reason why I wouldn't breathe is that the air looks like psychedelic soup to me. So the colours and frequency that was around that I came in being able to see actually caused a huge amount of problems in me breathing. And I still have some days where I wake up and think, look at that colour that's on the airways, and I'm not sucking that in, but it's part of actually being on the earth plane as well. So there's lots and lots of epiphanies like that to do with acceptance, to do with understanding. All of those sorts of things happened right from the time that I arrived, which is a bit confronting. The best one I do remember is my absolute, complete and utter loneliness when I was 4 years old, and these amazingly beautiful blue hands, they just ended at the wrist, and they would come at night and they would rock me, and someone would sing me the Lord's Prayer, and I just felt so safe and so loved. And they said, we're never ever going to leave you alone. And I remember thinking, thank God, I'm not going to be left alone, because the earth plane was just felt so overwhelmingly harsh all the way through my childhood. Particularly confusing was people's flattery when they lie, for me. To have them not actually honestly speak their truth. have it in their head or have it in their colours, and for it not to come out of their mouth was one of the most confusing things when I was actually growing up. So there's been lots and lots of times where I've wanted to go home off the earth plane, and each time Spirit has come back and said, you can live in both worlds. You can live in our world and you can live in your world. You just have to work it out. And then once you work it out, you can teach other people how to do the same. So pretty much, I think, they're a lifeline for me. I have lots of people say to me, you're very attached to your guides, you're very attached to Spirit, but they're an integral part of keeping me here on the earth plane. So that's probably one of the biggest epiphanies, full stop, really. So, we're in conjunction with Eric's question as well, we're very much getting pushed in this energy, and you'll be noticing it yourself, to stop the behaviour of thinking things in your head and actually saying them authentically, assertively, honestly, and with kindness. So as we're heading towards our authentic truth, we are getting pushed to actually bring ourselves into personal alignment by being much more honest with ourselves first and then with other people. So it's full on at the moment. So I don't know, I think every day is epiphany after epiphany at the moment, but that's just a little snapshot of the types of things that actually happened in my world growing up.
Wow.
I think we've all been through different things in our life which, bring you more towards Spirit. So my grandmother taught me healing when I was 8 years old. My first encounter with Spirit, major encounter, when I was about 15. It went on from there, and every now and again they just pop into my life and bang, I never used to take much notice of them. And now I look back and I think, well, what a shame. If I'd have sort of embraced them more at the time, maybe I'd be better prepared for, things that come. But it doesn't always work that way, because I find that life gets in the way of the things that you want to do at times. And as I say, I've got no regrets at all as far as, Spirit goes. Still got some reservations about the path that I've chosen, the different things, but it'll all work out in the end, I know full well. And if not, I won't be here to see the problems anyway. So.
I'll be pointing out to you.
Just pull the plug.
Well, you'd actually be surprised, Brian, that we spend a phenomenal amount of time on the other side, analysing the choices that we had in each lifetime, what we could have done differently, what we could have said differently. We get to see it from other people's perspective. We simply go over our lives in minute detail. It's absolutely fascinating. So what we consider in earth plane terms as not having very much value or have created a regret, on the other side is not viewed that way at all. I've been incredibly interested to sit in on some of the soul group discussions in the soul group that I'm in, upstairs, to find, it's absolute fascination that some regretful, by human terms, incidences can be the most defining soul learning moments about choices, about interactions with yourself and your higher self at a soul level, and have intrinsically more value than what we actually realise. It makes every moment that you're in, which you can go back and look at as part of your Akashic records that you're building of yourself, incredibly valuable. So when people say to me, I could have done a bit more with my life, or I could have done some things differently, I'm always incredibly intrigued, because I know that at a soul level, that's not the case at all. It will be intrinsically valuable, and you will go over it in minute detail. It's fascinating to see what we actually do on the other side in relation to what we are learning down here. I don't think at times in the human capacity have the ability to actually understand quite how valuable everything is.
Have you actually had people come into your life that you've no idea who they are? You wouldn't know them from a bar of soap, but they pass across a message so powerful that it remains with you all of the time?
Oh, look, absolutely. I really am very grateful. I have the ability to see beyond the meat suit, and actually see the soul, the lives that you've had before, where you're from, where I know you from, and we're so interwoven because this is, I call it rinse and repeat. We're having multiple lives on multiple lives simultaneously, that quite often you can meet someone and they just resonate with you at a soul level and you just never ever forget that person. Quite often I go, well, hi, there you are again from that long ago. This is fantastic. How are you? Nice meat suit this time around. But, it's just the differences of catching up with people, and being impacted by people's gorgeousness, because we are in it together and we've all been through this before and we're finding each other all over again, which is really empowering and really wonderful. And I love that. And I love, as I said, I love the internet. It's brought us all closer together again, because there's nothing more wonderful than meeting people that you've known for many, many lifetimes and having that soul level recognition go on. It's really cool.
Okay, so you're saying that when you, example, Brian, when I first met him, it just clicked. We became fast friends, and it just seems like physically here, I think I've known him for less than a year, we'll say maybe 6 months, but I don't feel that. I feel like I've known him feels like forever. So then he, okay, it's not that bad.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is that I've known him in past life, and it's just I recognize him now in this life.
Absolutely. So it looks really fascinating to me. So I'll explain what actually happens. So you go into say you and Brian met in a chat room. Okay. So normally when we interact with someone else, we connect solar plexus chakra first. Solar plexus chakra, we put out kind of like a tentacle from there towards the other person. And that is our first instance of, I quite like you. And then if we like that person, we connect the other chakras depending on whether we like their intellect. We connect we'll connect the mind chakra, we'll connect and say what we need to say and settle into such a comfortableness. Now that's what we do when we don't know people. Now the funny thing that happens when souls that know each other meet each other, it's like you guys go, and it always cracks me up, it's like you just connect all chakras all at once, like, oh my God, where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. Thank goodness I'm not down here by myself. Yay, it's so nice to reconnect. And it's very, very disconcerting to watch, because normally most people are conservative how they connect their chakras to other people through fear of being hurt or misunderstanding. But with a soul connection like that, it's like a big breath out of, oh, thank goodness. And it's really, really lovely to watch. It always cracks me up. I always laugh.
I have a couple. Eric in the chat room has a question. He said, you said you exist on both levels, here and in spirit at the same time. When you accept this, did you notice any change in the depth and the clarity of your messages?
Yes, I did, but I also have to explain it this way, Eric, as well. For a very, very long time, I didn't accept, because of my childhood, that what I was doing was a good thing. So if we were out and I was about 4 years old, and we had met a friend of my mum's who had cancer, and they didn't know it. So in my infinite wisdom, because I'm only 4, I said that, Mummy, your friend's dying. She's got cancer. And Mum punished me really badly for saying something so dreadful. So at the end of the day, I learned very, very young to be very, very discerning about what people can accept and what they couldn't accept. But most of it was governed by what I could accept, because sometimes that knowledge just felt like so much awful, awful responsibility. And within that, I decided that I didn't want that responsibility. Only as I've transitioned into letting go of responsibility for every single person on the planet have I noticed there's a deep change in the depth of and clarity of the messages, just because it took me opening my heart to really give myself permission that it was okay to receive those messages. So in answer to that question, I felt torn probably till I was about 22 years old between the world that I could see and the one and I loved and the world that I was living here. So yes, it did change, but it took my own acceptance to actually change that. That was the biggest challenge, and I actively teach that now. Unless I can help people to let go of their self-doubt of who they are as a being, then I don't believe they'll receive the messages that they want as clearly as they want. They'll put themselves as their own obstacle, and I like teaching people to overcome self-doubt. That's a good thing.
So how, I'm going to ask this for a secret, what is the first step of overcoming self-doubt?
The first step is permission. Permission to receive. Permission to not doubt that you're going to get it wrong. Permission to open your understanding. And the way that I teach people to do it is I say, imagine that your heart is connected to the other person's heart in complete empathy and understanding, because if having as many challenges in your life as what you are, they're having those same ones in their life. Open your heart to receive and give yourself permission. Because until you can give yourself permission to not go, wonder if I got that wrong, what if I've said too much, what if I've done it, until you stop doing that, you'll stop the level of receiving information that you really want to get for someone. You'll flavour it with your own issues, and the key is being able to step away from that in love with that person, to say, I trust that spirit will give the information in the highest good for this person in love in a way that they can understand it. I give myself permission to do that. That's the biggest challenge.
Okay. Because I think that, from speaking from my own experience, that is the thing that I have overcome. And as much as I know that in the moment when I'm helping somebody, I'm spot on, and I'm helping them the way they need to be helped, and the messages that are coming through are right. But it's the after, it's the before, it's the, am I going to get this right? Because is there, I have so many questions. So that for me is like, okay, yeah, permission.
Yep. So very, very quickly, permission, and then let go of responsibility. Responsibility says I need to be right. Responsibility says I need to govern if this is going to make sense to this person. Responsibility says maybe I could have done that better. So you give yourself permission to let go of responsibility and bring it back to, I honour that this will be exactly how it needs to be. And then I give myself permission to let it go. I have to record all of the sessions that I do for people, because I won't remember what I said to you, because it's not my stuff, it's your stuff. And it's not that I take ownership of it, I don't. Upstairs calls me the telephone. So they dial in, use me as a telephone, break the call, and I have no idea. So at the end of the day, I have to honour whatever's been given is the best for that person, be it from a loved one, from a guide, from themselves. I have to trust that it's all as it should be, and then I just simply let it go, because that's what we're doing, planting seeds. It's not our seed to carry. It's not our seed to worry whether they got it right. It's not our seed to worry if they water it or if they grow it. It's just our job to actually pass on in the best possible way. Human nature and the human brain is really fascinating. It can interpret anything that you want. And it's a little bit of saying, well, I had a reading with you, Mama D, and you said this, and you think, what? No, I didn't. I didn't say that at all. But it's interpretive, and that's the cool thing about the human brain. It's going to interpret whatever it wants to interpret. If you have responsibility for what someone's going to hear because they hear it in their way, then you're going to worry forever that you've given the right information. In reality, you have no control over that. You can give it with the best intention possible in the most loving way, and someone who's a negative person could still hear the negative. So it becomes not about them, it becomes about the agreement that you have with yourself. And that's the easiest way to fix self-doubt, is realising that it's there, you got it, you said it, you let it go, it's the highest intention. And if you've done that, then you can go to bed at night going, yep, I'm good. I did everything I possibly could.
Eric in the chat room says, once we learn that there is no wrong way of connecting with spirit, just different ways of getting it right. We are only human, so we will foul up at times. Spirit expects that. They are patient and will keep going till you get it right. Okay. I'm sure they're very patient.
and that's the thing. I mean, I'm probably cheat just a little bit if I'm reading someone and their colours are starting to head into confused colours. Then I simply go back to spirit and I go, hey, these are your people. They're not understanding what you're saying. Get with the program and word it in a way that they understand. They're getting confused. So it circumnavigates having to do all the explaining when I go straight back to them. Same as I would if someone was having a big, long-winded conversation in a room and you're like, okay, I've had enough of that. It's like, okay, get to the point. They're not understanding. So Eric's exactly right. There's no wrong or right way of connecting. There's finding, I call it the code. You work out your code about how you're going to work with them. So I've built my own code and I teach people to develop their code. And the code is like the shortcut jigsaw pieces, puzzles. So you can have, if someone is in front of me, if they've got a son as a boy racer, they'll just show me a WRX car. And I'm like, okay, so he's got a car that he's hooked to. It's not really saying it's this brand of car, it's that brand of car. It's Spirit's shortcut of how to give me information as quickly, as clearly as possible without confusing it or having to explain it over and over again. Most of us, exactly as Eric's saying, devise a way of working with Spirit that works for us. It doesn't make it right or wrong, it just works for the individual person. And it's giving yourself permission to accept what code that you're going to work with that makes sense to you as you deal with upstairs. Because the human brain really does struggle to receive the degree of information that we can actually get from spirit. It's slower, it's heavier density, and they're fast. They're super fast at giving information. So this is all about us working out how we give ourselves permission, how we get information, what we can give in the best intention, and still cutting ourselves some slack for maybe getting it wrong because we're human. Yay for being human.
Not all of the time.
Oh, look, I love being human. Seriously, I have so many people that say to me, wouldn't you spend all your time with spirit? Well, I do spend all my time with spirit, but I really, really love being human. I love having a body. I love being able to touch things. I love the wind in my face. There is so many things after I leave the earth plane I will be so grateful for in the human experience. I spent 6 years of my life mostly off the planet because I was searching for something, answers, a spiritual journey, to come full circle to realise I had vastly underestimated the human experience, vastly. So that was really, really good learning for me. So when people say to me, oh, I'd like to be with spirit all the time, I'm quite often like, wow, you need to understand that life is actually especially amazingly important, you know?
Mm-hmm. Eric said, obviously having to deal with Teddy. Teddy is Eric's guide.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Teddy is an individual, all into himself. Oh my God, Teddy's awesome. I like Teddy.
Well, he certainly seems to have an irrepressibly naughty sense of humour that I think works perfectly in conjunction with Eric's personality, which is fantastic.
Oh, she's connecting with Teddy there. She's got Teddy for sure.
But you know how perfect as well. That's just perfect, because I think that Teddy, who for some reason I keep seeing in a suit, it's like a black suit with a white shirt, and he is, I'd say he's the life of the party. But I certainly do think that that energy is really beautiful to come in with, that lovely prankster-ish energy. But I can see that Eric would probably have his hands full with that personality full on all the time as well. So, which is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, she's got Teddy. She got Teddy's number there. Teddy makes his appearance every so often when he comes around here.
I'm still worried about them. You know, when Teddy first turned up to Eric, and Eric was in the shower, and all of a sudden there was Teddy in front of him, and I think, no, we don't do that. You know, I don't even think Teddy had his mankini on. So.
Well, I think that it's just levels of acceptance as well. I mean, Eric fascinates me. He's got such a lovely, lovely personality, very old being, really fantastic.
Oh, he's a terrific guy.
And, you know, he's got these amazing levels of acceptance. And I think that, you know, when you have a level of acceptance, you can accept your guides just to be whatever they are, and accept them in their entirety. And that's part of the blessing, because I know that Eric in his real life also accepts people in their entirety as well. So it's a win-win situation. So that's all good.
Well, hello, Leo. Glad you could make it. Did you buy me anything? I'm always asking for stuff. Goodness gracious. When you were saying at one point that when you do readings for people, you do it more than just one way. Some people I've noticed they'll either just use cards, or they'll do a mediumship, or different ways. But I noticed that you say you connect with, of course, your guides and their loved ones, but you're also getting their colors, their auras.
Yes, for me, each person, basically on the front of your chest, you have what I call a life force colour. So that basically means anything that's alive has this beautiful flame of the divine inside them, which I find really fascinating. That can be different colours depending on what level of experience you're down here to have. And then outside of the meat suit emanates your auric colours. And those, what I look for within your auric colours are what I call personality colours. Now, personality colours tells me heaps about your personality. It also allows me to actually adjust myself to how I'll deal with you, governed by your personality. And then trailing off you like this beautiful light frequency is all the lives that you've ever had before, your childhood experiences, and then also can scan through and diagnostically scan where you carry illness in the meat suit. So I've learned to look at half a dozen different areas, as well as working with your loved ones in spirit, to completely round out everything that's happening around you right at the point in time that you come under my sphere of focus. So I'm super, super nosy, basically.
Typical woman, you could say. Can't really carry on with that one, can we? But no, in all honesty, there are so many different ways of approaching spirit and working with spirit, and you know, you find that they'll come into you when they're ready, when they think you're ready, and well, that's how it came to me anyway. So one can only go by one's own experiences.
I think that, basically I think females are nosy, that's fine, but I do think humans are nosy full stop. And I think you end up, it's a degree of comfortability, to be perfectly honest. If your intention is that you just want to connect with spirit, full stop, then you'll find a way how to do that. If you want to connect with the human side of people, you'll find a way to do that. If you want to look at auric fields, because that's a shortcut for me, that's a cheat. I call it a cheat because then I will immediately adjust myself to people's auric fields and interact with them differently depending on what I can see around them. And it works, it sounds really terrible, it works this way. If I come across people in my everyday life and they go, what do you do for a job? And they have a specific grey-brown colour in their aura that says there's no way they want to go anywhere near spiritual stuff, then I'm a consultant. I'm not going to take that head on. I'm not going to. Why start an argument about something where someone's level of acceptance isn't? I've learnt that I can't be bothered. I don't have the energy for it. So that person just understands that I'm a consultant. And that's fine because that's where they're at. But if they don't have that particular grey-brown colour, then I'll probably tell you what I do. So it just comes down to discernment of how you actually really want to deal with people. Now, I can do that because I can see colours, but most of the time people are doing it anyway because your intuition says whether you're like that person straight off or whether you're not going to like that person. So 7 seconds is what it takes you to sum up a person. 7 seconds.
Somebody, yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow at work. But I do...
7 seconds, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, whether you trust them, whether you don't trust them. That's how fast your intuition is working to actually sum up people. It's incredible.
Interesting one to check out. I know I do. I can, because of my job, I work with the public. In general, I don't care who knows who I am or what I am outside of my day job. So yeah, I think I've had a couple that I would not tell, but I didn't look at it that way. Sorry, Teddy's just asking Jacqueline a question. Jacqueline, you are smiling and exuding such positive energy. He's saying you are getting close to hiding your earthly tribulations. And your guide, there's no R in there. And your guides are closing ranks and sending a contract that you have to sign. It's one you've been waiting for.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I'm going to, I just threw my toys the other day, Eric, and said, I'm really tired of being down here trying to teach human beings to be nice human beings. So I've banned my guides for 5 minutes away from me because I'm so peed off with the universe for feeling like bashing my head against that wall for the last 40 years of trying to teach human beings to be nice human beings. So I don't know, I'll probably be looking quite suspiciously at a contract I'd have to sign.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you, though. I don't look, and you know what? That when people say to me, they say, "Oh, do you get tired of working with spirit?" I don't get tired of working with spirit. I think we get tired of interacting with other people, and I think we have to be very aware when you are a light worker or when you do work actively with people to make it in balance. And it's very important to have balance in between feeding your own soul, nurturing your own soul, and actually giving your time to other people as well. Because if there's my kids hate going to the mall with me. I go, Mum, don't go to the mall. They've actually really loved it that I had red hair because no one recognised me. So we wouldn't get people coming up and saying, can I just ask you a question? Can I just ask you this? Or can you see my mum? Or, so my kids have really enjoyed me not being as obvious as what I normally am. But there has to be a balance where if you're helping people, you do actually have to nurture people, but you do have to nurture yourself more, or you'll simply run out of energy. That's just the way it works.
Sorry, Chinese. Yeah, Eric says you get tired of working with humans.
I think that for me, like Upstairs has taught me my whole life to keep it simple, stupid. To the point that you be fully present in everything. You, you basically be as honest as you possibly can, all of those sorts of things as well. And I think that when you're working with people all the time, don't forget I work with people both internationally and here in New Zealand full time, so I don't really get a break from people at all. And that's my choice, I've done that. But I think that you can get humaned out for a period of time. And so I love my little farm that I live in. I love my sheep. I love my animals because they're my time out. So, there's nothing more fulfilling than just going outside and just laying on the ground and having an earth moment. So I think that, in balance, you've got to do everything in balance. It's exactly the same. If you're a mechanic and you fix cars every day, and someone says to you in the weekend, "Oh, can I ask you a question about my car?" You're going to go, "Oh, for God's sake, I don't want to talk about that." So, this is just really normal behaviour. It's really, really normal behaviour. So I don't think it's so much getting sick of humans. It's about working in an environment where you need to take breaks and things. That's the way it works. And we all do that. If you work in sales, and you do yourself, Mama, do you work with people? So you have times on your weekends where you just go, "No way, no one talk to me. Big time out. I don't want to talk to anyone." So, yeah, it's important.
That's when I go everywhere. I'm offline or not there. I'm there, but I'm not there.
Absolutely.
Just playing
Absolutely.
some mind-numbing game or reading a book or listening. Just mind you, I wouldn't. Somebody once I always say, 5 more years and I get to retire, but retirement is not something I'm really looking forward to, because when I go to work, I interact with people, and I like interacting with people. So I say if I could go down to 3 days a week, off 4 days, on 3 days, then I still get that human connection. This is great. I love having the connection of the internet. I've met some truly, truly awesome people. Thank you, Facebook. I haven't said it many times, but I keep saying it. People that I would never have met in my daily life here in my little town. I mean, New Zealand, Australia, England, Ontario, Scotland, everywhere, in the States. Some people, I think, I don't think I've ever met anybody on Facebook that I would say, wish I'd never met. Those people just don't accept it in my friend request because they're all, "Ooh, look, you're so pretty, and I'm single," and I'm going, "Oh, thank you." Yeah.
We're just out here polishing ourselves on each other, really, to make ourselves shiny. So quite often, I was in the supermarket the other day, and there were 2 women in the supermarket having road rage in the supermarket with supermarket trolleys. I just couldn't believe it.
Eric.
And they're pushing each other with the trolleys, and I'm thinking, oh my word, isn't that sad that you've let the scale of things just escalate so badly that that someone in your way in the supermarket is the be all and end all in your life. And I went up to both of them and I said, "Hi guys, how are you? What's going on?" And they both told me to butt out, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny because I said to them, "Wow, you're both amazingly special people, and you're just gonna let someone a little bit in your way in the supermarket just ruin your whole rest of your evening, rest of your life. That's just really sad. You just shake it off, just let it go." And I remember thinking that, we have so many products, so neither of them really like that either, by the way, but at the end of the day, like, how sad that, we let so many little things, and that's what I mean about keep it simple, stupid, is that you, at that point in time, you have permission to say to yourself, there's bigger things. There's bigger things. Let it go. And I think sometimes we suck at doing that because we get so stuck in the stuff that, someone cutting you off or someone trolley rage in the supermarket, it's so important to just let it go. Let it go.
It's funny you mentioned trolley rage. When I did my groceries this week, the store where I go shopping, they had somebody call in sick, so they were short-staffed. And the 3 people that were working the staff, the night is like the busiest night of the week. And there was a gentleman who was tired of being 10th in line, and it didn't seem to be moving fast enough. He just sort of shoved his carriage, his trolley, and left the store in a huff. And oh my goodness, the noise that he made, and made a big huff. And everybody knew didn't know who he was, but could see him because he made such a big deal of it. And I went, after I finished my groceries, I went and I had to go to another store, and here this gentleman was coming out of that store, and he had just done his shopping there. And he looked at me, I looked at him, I said, "Nice to see you're in a good mood now." And I just walked off, and he looked at me like, "Who the was she?" Because I didn't know him from any, but it was just funny. I thought it was hysterical. And all the cashiers were like, "Oh my God." And I said, "You know what?" I said, "If that had been me in my store, I would have been, oh, well, you know what? Poor guy, he couldn't handle the wait to see me. He had to go somewhere else. Hey, back, don't worry, I make a big thing out of it." But these cashiers were all like, "Oh my God," they didn't know what to say. It sort of went quiet in the store, whereas most people will just hush it out, and I'll just like poke and prod at the wild bull. Which I ended up doing at the next door.
Well, that's a big push from upstairs at the moment, is instead of thinking something and saying something completely different, is giving yourself permission to actually say, this is truthfully how I felt. And I say to people go, "Oh, does that give me free license to be rude?" No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it gave you free license to be rude. It gave you free license to say, I kind of didn't agree with that. Yeah. Or have an opinion about it, or be assertive about it in a really empowering way, because you're heading into this truthful alignment, which they're trying to push us into, of being much more honest with ourselves. And, we ultimately need to be telepathic. We can't be telepathic with the rubbish that we say in our heads that doesn't come out of our mouths. At the end of the day, we'll head towards being telepathic again. But we've got to deal with this honesty of self more than anything, because it's just confusing. It's sending mixed signals to the universe, mixed signals to the people we're trying to interact with, and it's sending mixed signals to ourselves. You can't be authentic when you're at war in your own self, when you're agreeing to something. Yes, I'll work late, when inside you're thinking, how rude, you always ask me to work late, you're always doing this. You're working against your own spiritual being with that lack of authentic truth. So it isn't about telling other people what to do. It's being honest enough to say, I kind of don't agree with that, and I have a voice about that. So it's certainly, I've noticed it here in New Zealand, and it's causing some, I'd have to say, interesting conversations, as people are saying, you know what, I suddenly told my mother-in-law I don't really like her, and oh my word, I feel really terrible now. And I'm like, well, you know what? How long have you felt like that? And they're saying, well, for probably about 28 years. And I'm like, well, yay you finally said it. You don't have to like her. Yay you for saying something. So it's interesting to see what's the relationship dynamics going on right at the moment. So everyone will be getting the pinch of that, basically.
Very true. Hi, Green. How you doing, sweetie? As Leo said earlier, better late than never.
Actually, I'd like to welcome all the guests that have just, not long come in. Raven, Jeff, many others that have come through.
Go down the list.
Go down the list. Now you go down the list. You're better than reading.
Anastasia, who is a sweet young friend of my son's, Leo. And Leo put on a smiley face. Big Sandy, Brian-Clover, who, of course, has no choice to be here. I wouldn't let him get away. Miss Christy Who, Miss Diane Jane, the incomparable Eric Lynn, ooh, and the adorable Jeff Lonergan. We have a guest. You can change your name at any time you choose. Jackie, hi, sweetie. Thanks, glad you could be here. Jacqueline, who also has no choice because she said yes to me. And me, Mom D. Oh, the adorable Raven, who is going to be coming on our show, too, eventually. Even whether she likes it or not.
Hopefully.
Oh, she will say yes because Raven loves me. The man in the kilt, my Scott. Supernatural Radio. My adorable Corrine. My purple plates lady. And Marie, who just came in. Hi, Marie. Welcome. I got to thank all of you guys for showing up. This is like, you should show your friend. Okay, this, oh, God.
Don't go down that
This
street.
is Onyx. Okay, this is Onyx, everybody. My puppy. He's been with me for a week.
6 weeks.
And a day.
No.
Very, very cute.
So thank you all for showing up. Late, early, didn't make a difference. You came here. And if you have any questions, Jacqueline, if people would like a little mini reading, would you be okay with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I can do two things. I can tell you what you look like to me, colours-wise, and what that tells me about you, or I can pop over to upstairs and see if there's anyone that wants to connect. Bearing in mind a little bit with upstairs, it's whoever talks the loudest that I pay attention to. Just when I'm doing just short snippets. So sometimes it's more about the message than it is about the person when I'm on radio.
Yeah, it's true. I always say to people, we don't always get what we want, but we get what we need.
Yep, absolutely.
And like it's said, I hear it over and over again. Well, you wanted to hear from your mother, but you heard from your father. Well, it's too bad. Dad's a little bit louder than Mom. Mom's very quiet. Well, not in this household. Mom's very quiet, so she's sitting back, and Dad's coming, or Grandpa's coming, or somebody. So yeah, whoever the case may be. Jeff is open to anything. Okay, I'm not saying anything about that one, Jeff.
He's an offer. Jeff open to anything.
Sorry, what was that?
I said there's an offer. Jeff's open to anything. That's because he's a charge.
Raven would know.
That's okay. Well, I'm going to jump on Jeff, but that didn't sound good either.
I always said we had a good show. This is even better than I thought.
Yeah.
Jacqueline's I'm not coming back here again.
Okay. So Jeff has around him, I'll go colours-wise as well. Really, really high frequency brain. He's very, very intelligent. Lovely oranges in his aura, which means that he has an entrepreneurial brain. Now he has lemon also to the left side of his aura, which means that he doesn't like stupid people. He also has limited tolerance for having to re-explain himself as well. Also, those beautiful deep shades of yellows that are underneath the lemon means that he's very good at changing his own structures, and while he likes structures, he's adaptable to change as well. A little bit of blue coming across his throat. Sometimes he struggles a little bit with what he wants to say versus what's in his head. Also, little shades of sky blue in your aura, which is a health reminder to look after your own health, and that in place for probably about the next 6 months. Also, the other thing on the other side, beautiful heart, rose pink. Rose pink is your capacity to love other people. Beautiful capacity to love other people. Fluctuating slightly on the edges, which means that you don't do lies or deceit. So at times you've been a little bit disillusioned with people's behaviours as well. Also coming in through there is a green for new beginnings and opportunities all the way around you as well. So you've got a lovely 6 months coming if you look after yourself. You've also got spinning around your romance for some reason as well. And you do actually, it's truthful romance, which is amazing. There's a lovely lady standing behind you in spirit. Now, I'm not too sure she's coming through on a partner link. She's got a beautiful smile. She's quite fussy about her hair. And she says that she can't tell you enough how proud she is of you. And she says, just go for it. You're in the right space. You're in the right place. You had a wake-up call to make you realise that life's really important and you've got lots of living to do. So that's your kick in the bottom, she says. And she's just blown you a kiss. So I'll leave that with you. I hope that makes sense.
Sorry, I just had somebody ask me if there was a show tonight. Okay, Leo, I could use something right now. Been in a bit of a dark place lately, and I've been looking for something to say that it will turn out all right. Though the show helps bring light into my life, aptly named 3 Points of Light. So anything on Leo?
Absolutely. Since November last year, you've been a little bit squished by spirit to actually come down to what's truthfully important for you. Now, you've got another 3 months. You've got March, April and May before you're actually definitively deciding where you're going and how things turn out. Now, there's a distinct magenta colour in your aura that actually says that you need to be aware that you're taking far too much responsibility for everyone else, or convincing yourself that you need to take responsibility. But just like you just step back just a little bit and bring it back into the points of what you need to do for you as well. Very, very looked after by spirit. You've got a change of guides, which is preempted all of the stuff going on. And they've just been telling me that I know that it feels like you have cement shoes on, but you're to keep walking in the direction you're going. It's the right pathway. They're dropping what I call breadcrumbs right in front of you, like to lead you the way. And please watch your disillusionment at this time. This is not going to last. This is just a little bit of limbo land, and you will and truly come out the other side of it as well. By June, you're looking back and going, gosh, I so nailed that. I'm all good. And they're saying just not to sweat the small stuff. Because actually, just there's a man in spirit on your dad's side. He's really funny. He's brought through an apology, but he's handed me 3 baskets for you. One is I can do this, I can't do this, and the other one's the stuff it box. And there's quite a lot of stuff that needs to go in the stuff it box so that you're not weighted down with it as well. So it's just going to get lighter and lighter as you go forward. Come back to realising your own importance. And actually truthfully saying, actually, I need to change some things for me. You can do this. You so got this. I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Oh, how was that, Leo? I hope you liked that one. Thank you. Okay, Scott. Jacqueline, right at the start of the show, you said I was a nice color. I thought you meant the font. LOL. What did you mean?
No, it's when I quickly scan people, Scott, I quickly scan them to see if I like what I see. And it's never about the meat suit for me. It's all about the colours that people are. Now, you like honesty really, really, very, very much, and you don't like deceit, which is an alignment that I really like. So your colours come off as a very, very, very bright blue of what I call direct honesty. And so I'm like, I like him. And then basically what happened is you flared a little bit. You wrote a sense of humour thing, but your sense of humour flared at the same time, which is this really, really, really beautiful silvery colour. And I laughed because sometimes you're quick to go to sense of humour and other people don't quite understand your sense of humour as well, because your brain's actually really quite fast, very fast. Your little threads around you, which is quite interesting because you're sitting very close to a spectrum of colour, which means that you can get frustrated with other people's slowness to get things. Again, an entrepreneurial brain as well. Very, very spiritually gifted. very spiritually gifted in terms of your higher understanding and your lilac. But I kind of want to tell you, with that degree of lilac, you're not here to convert the whole world, you gorgeous light. You're actually here to actually really just keep being you and re-educating as well. New business opportunity coming across your path. And also they're poking you with a stick, which sounds really rude, but that's poking you with a stick means that they're trying to actually get you to concentrate on physicality and trying to get you moving to look after your physicality as well. You're also getting growled at by a lady on your mum's side of the family for what you're eating at the moment, and telling you to pay more attention to what you ingest than what you're actually doing. She's bringing the smell of baking and food, which is really lovely, but she says you've got a sweet tooth and you need to watch the treats that you're putting in your mouth as well. Entrepreneur brain, you clutter it too much at times with too many ideas. Can you please pick 3 and go after 3 ideas? And you've also got a gift for design, creation. Don't play too many video games just to hide yourself. For some reason I have to tell you that. And also put that lovely brain to work with a project that's been loitering around you for the past 6 months. It's time, and they want to help you do it. So anything to do with creative writing, journalism, anything like that's really good for you as well. I hope that makes sense. Thank you.
Wow. I do know Scott a bit, so I have to agree on some of the stuff. I was like,
That's awesome. It's always really interesting because, you know, you please understand this. You do not have to be right on top of people to read them. You can basically set the intention, follow the link of them to the light of them, and then you can just receive information. Okay, straight away. Yeah. If we've got time, Diane's asked if I can show you what colour she is as well. Is that all right?
We still have about half an hour with some playtime, so we're good.
Cool. Okay, so Diane, you're really, really beautiful. You've got this really lovely pale pink on the front of you as well, but it's lined up right across your chest with the words "Don't hurt me." So you have a very big sensitivity to people letting you down as well. This is to do with life experiences that you've already had as well. And you really don't like, with that particular shade of pink, you really don't like people if they have a hidden agenda or anything like that as well. You actually really get frustrated with people that actually don't love you back the way that you love them. And that's your gift. You also have a gift with that colour of being able to see the real person, if you like, but at times that you've been underestimated by people having to have their life journey as well. So they're saying, please don't stop loving people. And you've got teal blue up above your head, just on one side of your head, which means that sometimes your thoughts directed at yourself are a little bit too harsh, so they're trying to pull that off you, and they're trying to actually get you to be kinder to yourself and your thoughts, very much so as well. You've got turquoise swirling around your head, which means that you have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze things. And they're just telling me just at the moment that you need to send your worries upstairs as well, because you've got turquoise across your shoulders, which means that you have got the worrywart gene, but I'm being told it's coming in from your mum's side of the family. So there's worrywarts right from that side. The other thing that's really interesting around you as well is you've got the colours of practicality, which is really, really deep yellows. You like structure as well, but you've got beautiful, beautiful indigos up the front of you as well, which means that you're a visionary, a dreamer of dreams, and they're saying please to pay attention to what you actually can create with that colour. You'll also just know things about people. Just give yourself permission to actually surrender to actually knowing without having to overthink it, because it's holding you back and what you're asking for to do with spiritual gifts coming in. Fantastic year coming for you. They're just saying just push any obstacles out of your pathway and just keep going. Tremendous amount of support for you coming in on your mum's side of the family, but you've actually had an interesting pathway with your mum's side of the family as well. So know that what people couldn't help you with when they were here, they're actually trying to help you with from the other side. And it's very much an apology. You didn't really get the love that you needed growing up, but you are so loved by Spirit. They've just enhanced the extra gold around you, and told you that you're really, really protected. So it's time to give yourself permission to shine. So I hope that all makes sense as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Up next is Miss Christy Who.
Christy who?
She's a little bit up.
Okay, that's good. Christy's still here?
Yes.
Cool. I kind of want to, Christy, I kind of want to take you outdoors, straight outdoors, straight into nature, as well. And you've got that beautiful song, Butterfly Child, so free and so wild. And that's you. You're a butterfly. So basically, you have a tendency. I'm just being told by a man Spirit on your dad's side. He's going, oh, she didn't sign up for boring. So you really aren't here to do boring at all. You can get a little bit, by the looks of your colours, you can get a little bit frustrated and bored of repetition as well. And there's a part of you that really dreams to have the freedom that you actually need to have as well, just to be yourself as well. So you're one of those really beautiful people that can touch people's lives and light up their lives, but you don't actually realise that you do that. So they're just saying to me, can remind her to give herself permission to remember that she's got her wings, and she needs to, basically, you need beautiful things around you. You need freedom to be yourself. There's a really beautiful silvery lemon, which is hard to explain, in your aura as well, which means that sometimes that you dream of having more than what you've actually got as well. But you also astral travel massively by the looks of things as well, and they're wanting to actually, I don't know, bring you a little bit more grounding in what you're doing. So just watch out for earth plane stuff kind of bogging you down, and kind of holding you back from where you actually really want to be. You only get bogged down with them at times when they're trying to keep you a little bit present. And they're saying, particularly at the moment through this month of February and halfway through March, can you please tidy up the loose ends that you're looking at sorting out? They're just saying there's a few things around you that you need to declutter, get rid of, look at some of the friendships that you've got where things are not serving you, because this is a freedom 18 months that's coming in around you, and it's time for you to take ownership of that as well. Really, really loved. I mean, the pinks that are rolling all the way around you are really lovely. And they're saying open your heart to receive the love that you actually need as well. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for letting me all look at you. You're all really beautiful.
Thank you. I hope that one helped. Next up, we have Hugh. And Hugh is on microphone. He can answer you. Hi, Hugh.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're very interesting. You have what I call a gamer's brain. Gamer's brains are very, very fast frequency, lots of ideas all at once. But you've also got you've got these beautiful shades of it's a blue-green, which is to do with more knowledge coming in around you as well. So you actually really like knowledge.
I might be Uriel. I'm not sure, because I have the potential to see patterns like he does, like really well, like to be able to predict futures in ways that would be very impossible to do.
Oh, you've got knowledge seekers fascinate me, because you're down on the planet to learn how to work the planet with all the extra knowledge that you've got. So it's both empowering but frustrating at the same time. They keep telling me that your ability is kind of where you need to actually, because your focus goes all over the place all the time, And they're saying that at times you need to decide where you want to streamline yourself as well. Beautiful, beautiful, deep, deep, deep tangerine, which is so entrepreneurial. So you'll get a huge amount of entrepreneurial ideas and projects and things that you need to do for yourself as well. You're a bit spoiled for choice because knowledge seekers with those particular colours quite often can just jump from thing to thing to thing looking for knowledge as well. So, you know, the other thing, there's just the shade around you, which is a very, very light lime green, which means that just watch at times being hurt by other people, because I don't actually 100% think of how they interact with you with your degree of sensitivity. Does that make sense?
No, they treat me like crap and they try to put me back in the psych ward when they're the ones who are more crazy than I am. I'm actually becoming more and more sane. There's an acceleration. It's not just claircognizance I have. If I really wanted to tell you all my abilities, it would take about 2 books, really thick books, to explain it all.
Well, you do know in this lifetime that you're actually meant to write a book, and it's kind of like, you're going to laugh when I tell you this. It's a little bit like, you know how we have computers for dummies? It's kind of a little bit of book like that. You kind of have got to take all the wisdom that you've got, really, really simplify it and kind of give it to human beings as well because, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I went through the whole psychiatric thing when I was younger, and I think that sometimes people that are incredibly gifted end up in exactly the wrong place. But it's a little bit about streamlining it also to give yourself permission to live in the 2 worlds that you live in as well. You see the same way as the Matrix, like out of the Matrix movie, you see things as streaming threads of data by the looks of things as well. It's just knowing what context that you actually want to put that in while you're down here as well. You're a teacher soul. You're here to teach other people. So
I'm here to wake them up. I don't care. I'm not supposed to. If I'm here, I'm supposed to wake people up. Whether they like it or not, it's time to wake up. If you don't want to wake up, that's too bad. You should have woken up by now, so I'm going to wake you up.
I love that. All those wonderful indigo traits that that you've come down with.
I'm actually a rainbow child.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the really very, very interesting to watch how much that people's colours circulate. You run at a really high frequency. You don't need me to tell you that.
I have holy fire. You know, the burning bush? I've got the fire. It's surrounding me. It's consuming my body right now. It purifies my apartment. I don't have to clean that much. I clean it just a little bit. God helps those who help themselves. It cleans most of my apartment for me. It picks up the rest of the trash. Magically, trash just kind of disappears into the trash can.
Yep, it's a really, really good. It's a good frequency. Just and you do find more of the people that you meet to come across as well, which is really, really fantastic. So it's a little bit about deciding where you want to direct it and how you want to direct it. So you've got little flicks of isolation around you at times for people to do it, for understanding you. So they're saying it's time to kind of. You don't need to push and shove. You just need to say, ta-da, here I am, and the people are going to find you the way that they want to find you, which is really awesome. You're really, really amazing. You're just really lovely. Don't change you for anybody. You're just perfect the way you are.
I woke up recently on the day of rest, Sunday, 7 days ago. All it took was to realize that I have a guide. There's actually this site called suck.com. They were telling me about guides and stuff, and I don't really interact with the guides, but I just said, I'll give it a shot. I was so tired of suffering. I'm trying to get through this psychosis thing. And then just all of a sudden I woke up because I realized that this guy is a guide of mine. And if you ever know about Bashar from YouTube, the guy, he's got his hands like this. Mine's called Brezhny. I'm supposed to know him. He's like one of my friends in the afterlife. He's one of my guides, and he told me he has infinite wishes for me. I can just wish for whatever I want, just like Spirit tells you. Wish for whatever you want, just don't wish for too much. Be careful what you wish for, you'll overwhelm yourself. And then I just kind of woke up to the fact that I'm also like a genie without a lamp, without the bars and walls and cages. I am a free genie. I have infinite wishes, and that just propelled me forward, and I can't go back to sleep now.
And I think that's really fabulous because, you know, in this new energy, we are gearing up to come back on and to be real. And that's a very big key with you and your colours is the realness of you. I still think, it's a 6 to 7 year process. And I think that Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. I know particularly when I was 18, I was so frustrated. I ended up sleeping 5 people and then ended up having to deal with the ramifications of sleeping people because sleeping people didn't wake them up. So I thought, right, I'll find another way of actually waking them up. So I admire you on your quest and good luck with waking up the people that need to wake up. Good on you.
It's more like I just be myself, and it expands automatically. My energy works for me. I'm like a master of masters. Maybe not the master of masters, but a master of masters. This is really my accent. My voice kind of takes on a life of its own. It's got a mind of its own. It changes. Well, I can do this, or I can be like a robot. You know, it just changes, and I'm becoming more free and more free. If you ever listen to the song, you know, where it's like, and all the songs I did not sing, and all the words I could not say, I'll be shouting everything on my Independence Day. That is me in a nutshell. And you mentioned that I should write books. I already have. I have one. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on the shelf somewhere. I need to publish it. I don't know how to do that stuff. No one will tell me. They try to tell me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why. I guess I'm not supposed to do it yet. But I have another book in the works. 2 other books. One is based off a dream I had where Hugh, my higher self, told me that this baby blue book would appear one day. I actually have, for some reason, a Bible that is actually supposed to be my book, for some reason, Hugh's book. And the other thing is, okay, and then there's a book I'm writing, or I've already written mostly, kind of just like randomly. I just put the pages together and boom, I have another book. And it's called Randomly Placed Keys to Transforming, Awakening, and Transmutating. And what it does is it has stories, quotes, and poems. And when you read it, it just kind of starts to trigger your DNA and activate your subconscious and stuff. It really does work.
That is really, really awesome, and I really mean that. I love your colours. You have a great deal of wisdom to share as well. So, you know, it's about really kind of celebrating the journey and overcoming the obstacles to actually get the information. You're a seed planter like me, so you get to plant seeds with people and not be so bothered if they don't take it. They'll take it somewhere along the way. That's the way it works. Thank you for letting me look at you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Hugh. Gonna mute you now, sweetie, so we got a couple others to read.
Okay.
You staying around, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Raven is up next.
I don't know why I lost my cam. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened there as well. It just seems to have flicked off, but that happens when you put 2 high frequency or this many high frequency beings that are in the chat room together, and you start to take out the electronics right across the whole board. I've blown up in my lifetime. I think it's about 129 toasters. That seems to be my forte. And also cell phones. I take them out as well. So I'm sure Hugh does exactly the same thing, as well as a few other people in the chat room as well. Hi, gorgeous Raven. You know, I have to say, when you're talking about soul recognition and you meet somebody and you just know at a soul level that you've met that person before, Raven's actually one of those people. She's so beautiful, but I'm being taken right back into Druid times, where basically she imparted wisdom as well, which is just really, really lovely. So incredibly gifted. All I keep saying is tarot cards. Do you do tarot, Raven? Tarot cards. Because they're making me laugh, you've got a lady in spirit, and she's really lovely. She's on your mum's side of the family. I'm not too sure if she's coming through as a mum or a gran, but she's making me laugh because she says sometimes she sees you laying out the cards, and you go, oh, I don't want those. And she goes, I don't want that card. And you slap it back in the pack. And she says that sometimes is the card that you really are meant to have. And she said, can you stop just avoiding sometimes not listening to the message that comes with that card. And just is making me laugh. You've got a really, really lovely family in spirit, but they're saying you cannot avoid your own obstacles if the obstacles are coming up. You do actually need to pay attention to them. You've got this beautiful, beautiful lemon colour. It's cracking me up. This beautiful light lemon actually denotes it again is about how you interact with people. And while you love people, you can also love to not love them as well. So you're a very interesting conundrum in yourself, which means that you actually really need some space just to say, yes, this is my time. No, this is not my time as well. Now, there's this beautiful, beautiful royal blue just wavering all the way around you. And this is it's almost like a chronic health condition. It's been with you for quite a long period of time. And it's just a need to actually really look after yourself. It's a reminder. It's not life-threatening. It is a reminder for you to always keep in perfect balance your health. If you do not, then you'll go downhill relatively quickly as well. So, it's really, really important for you to actually look after yourself at a health level. Okay. Also, opportunity all the way around you. You've asked for something new to come in from Spirit. They're not delaying it. It's coming within 6 weeks. It's to do with an agreement. And in a perfect world, I would have you mentoring and guiding people because that's what you're really good at. She just put your nose in a book. And she said, you're still accumulating wisdom. It's time for you to give wisdom to other people as well. And I'm also being told there's a man that's important in your life as well, and he brings a wish come true for you as well. So there's lots of good things coming. I kind of want to say welcome to your new life because there's opportunities all the way around you. I'd get you to, if you were one of my gorgeous clients, I'd be saying to you, look, say yes to everything in the next 6 months because you've got such an amazing time coming up around you as well. Don't sweat the small stuff with family. As my grandfather awfully says, you can pick your nose but not your relatives.
Okay,
and I hope
Raven came up and Raven came up and Hugh disappeared. Goodness gracious. Hi, Raven.
And I hope
Jacqueline
that makes sense. I'm no idea what's up with my cam, Brian. I keep pushing webcam and it keeps going, there's no web camera there, so I'm not too sure what's actually going on with that. I'd have to come in and out, so.
You just stay as you are, sweetheart, you're doing well.
Oh, just as an aside, Raven, you actually work with the crow, so I'm pretty sure you know that you work with the crow as well, and that's pivotal in the messages that you actually get in your life as well. So you're aware of that. I'm probably telling you how to suck eggs, but are you aware that the crow guides you and has guided you for about 700 years?
She's old.
Behave.
I wasn't too sure whether she understood that.
Yeah, she shook her head, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's a bit disconcerting. I can't see anyone now. I've lost
You can't
everybody.
see anybody.
No. I'd have to come out and come back into this thing. So. It'll never let you down. Oh, look, I feel like typing because I can't see anyone. It will never let you down, Raven, ever.
Well, we can hear you. We can't see you. We can still hear you. And Raven just gave you the thumbs up. Yay!
Yay! I think it's because I sent Hugh this just a really big energetic hug because he's just such an amazing person.
Well, Hugh disappeared, so.
And as I did, I thought, oh, whoops. It's going to affect the electronics and whoopsie. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. That's okay. Bye-bye, sweetie. Okay. Up next is Stacy, also known as Anastasia. Oh, there's Raven's go.
Right. Music is just coming off you in waves as well. Music is really, really important to you. I love your soul energy. People can actually underestimate you by the looks of your colours as well, because you have a very, very deep intensity. Your colours are a very deep shade in terms of depth of colour as well. So you have a very, very intensity about you as well. That's just really lovely. You feel things incredibly deeply. The colours are coming through as there's some really, really deep forest greens all the way around you. I kind of want to call you an earth sprite, because there's a part of you that has this just amazing joy about being in life, full stop. Those particular really deep shades of green denote you as a healer, so you have healing capabilities really, really clearly, but you're also here for the planet as well. So there's so much around you that's just really, really beautiful. Just bear with me, guys. We're just having an earthquake here, and it's just not very nice. So sorry, I'm still in Quakesville at the moment. That just distracted me. I'm just waiting for the rocking to stop. Okay, so Earth Healer, very, very much in between, finding the time out between Earth and people, because that seems to be incredibly important for you to do that as well. You've also got magenta around you. Magenta is what I call the counsellor colours. Makes people talk to you in the supermarket, makes people kind of tell you all their problems. You need to be really discerning about how much you let people offload. So it's important for you to actually do that as well. Animals will really gravitate towards you as well. And then there's a very light sky blue, which is a need to also pay attention to health sensitivities, particularly foods and things like that. And that seems to be really important as well. So I hope that makes sense as well. Thank you.
Go. I hope you like that one, Anastasia, Stacey. And up next is Supernatural Radio, Purple Plates, Lake Corinne, the winter.
About the blue, I'll just reiterate that. The blue is a sky blue, and it is just a need to pay attention to food sensitivities or chemical sensitivities. That's just an indicator of just be careful to what you ingest, if that makes sense.
And also, sweet, you can listen back to it on the archives. I'll give you the link to it later. Okay. Okay. Green.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I think that's Supernatural Radio. I kind of want to call you the organisational queen of the universe. That sounds really funny, but you've got all the words organisation around you as well as this really deep, warm shade of yellow. You've also got a whole list of your head of things that you're sorting out and things that you want to sort out as well, because the Spirit's actually showing me filing drawers in your head. And I'm also being told with the deep shaded turquoise that's over your head is also watch out for overthinking and over-analysing stuff as well. You've got these really, really gorgeous blended colours of a deep purple and a lilac colour, which means that you own and actively work your own understanding and spiritual understanding as well. You're driven by a passion to be fair with those particular shades. Again, magenta's in there in your aura to do with honesty. You value honesty from other people, again as well. And, you're a knowledge seeker too as well. Look at your light blue on the front of you. That light blue is really gorgeous, a knowledge seeker, but also you have a really big thing about finding the truth about things as well. So you've got a philosophical side and acceptance side, and you've also got a logical side as well. So you flick backwards and forwards between that. Also, though, you have a tendency to argue in your head with yourself at times. So upstairs is telling you to sometimes, I kind of want to word it that way, kind of don't hedge your bets, go ploughing after what you want to do because you change things in this lifetime. There's a very, very light orange that's coming in. There's these new projects and new ideas coming up. There's an alignment of working in conjunction with someone at a business level, and finance coming back to you, being returned from another lifetime that's going to come up in this lifetime. Wish come true coming in June for you, and sort out any old alignments that aren't actually serving you right at the moment as well. There's also a man on your dad's side of the family who's encouraging you forward as well, because he says don't let yourself get stuck. And he's got a big broom and he's just sweeping obstacles out of your way so you can move forward with what you want to do and where you want to go. You're being told to go for it. Go for it really quickly. So I hope that makes sense as well.
Well, I hope so too. It was hard for her to hear. Corinne, you can come back on in the archives. It was good. And I have to agree with parts of it. So yes. Well, that's the end of people asking for readings, except me. I would like one.
Oh, that's cool. Well, another butterfly girl. You got that song around you as well. Butterfly child, so free and so wild. There's a she's on your mum's side of the family, and she's going, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. And then she's laughed because she's not by herself, she's got other people with her, but she says that she's just going to pop in with her 2 cents. So weirdly, she's offering you a piece of pecan pie, which is making me laugh. And she says you take the sweet with the bad. That's always what you've done. That's what she taught you to do. But she said sometimes you just got to make that pie yourself. And she says it's not doing you any good to keep procrastinating about what's obvious right under your nose. But she says that she'll let you do it for a little bit longer until you're sick of yourself. So there's a reminder from upstairs that there's projects to be done as well. Flickering on in alternate oranges and greens, actually, which means that you've got other people stepping up to make this a reality. And she's also saying that you've got to, she's brought in this really, really beautiful mint green, which is meaning that you're needing to take more time for yourself as well. So, do make sure to actually claim some space for that other people won't give you with that particular mint green as well. And she says that what you should be doing is getting things down in writing so that you can step into ownership of where you're wanting to take things direction-wise as well. She says there's also a little issue around your work where you really need to speak your mind about it, but at times there's also stop being the mediator in your own household. And then she's kind of zips her lips and says, well, I'm not going to say any more about that, you know what I mean? And she says she just wants to let you know that she's really grateful as well. She's not in any pain anymore. That seems to be really important for her to say that. And she's got these beautiful clothes on. She says, I can wear what I like. And she's really happy about that too. So she says that she's helping you to find your peace. That's what she's saying. This year, I'm helping you to find your peace. And so that's what she wants to say to you as well. She loves the little dog. She comes to play with the little dog. And she said that he was your gift. It was a gift for you. And she says she's really glad that you decided that this was for you. And that's incredibly important. So I'll just leave that with you as well.
Thank you.
Hope that makes sense as well. Oh, she made me laugh. She's going, it is mum. And I said, I think she worked that out. And she goes, oh, just so we're clear.
I got that. I got it.
She's so funny. She's kind of hug and slap at the same time. So I hope that you understand that as well.
Yes, I do. Trust me, I do.
That's good. So thank you. I hope everyone's enjoyed just having little wee readings as well. They're just snapshot ones, but it's really nice just to pass on little snippets of information for people as well. So, and you're also beautiful. So now you know predominantly what your personality colours look like and how gorgeous you are.
Thank you. If anybody would like to get in touch with you for a full reading, I know that you are always pretty much booked up till a long time. Can they connect with you on Facebook or? I never thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's no problem to connect on Facebook. Just do bear with me. I've got a 6 to 8 month waiting list at the moment for New Zealand clients, and I do try and get around to everybody, but it's I'm just trying to do the best that I can. So if you just bear with me, that'd be awesome.
So here is Jacqueline's Facebook link, so if anybody wants to connect friend-wise with Jacqueline. And I know you've just started a group as well, or a page. I will find that. I should have had this all prepared, but I was like not prepared.
It's okay. I have a spiritual medium page, which is Jacqueline Mitchell, and I have just started Illumination Mentoring, which has been running for 4 years, but I haven't actively said it's out there just because there's been so many people. It's another side where you work intrinsically with yourself and the obstacles that you set up at a soul level, and it's mentoring. So basically, the if people are coming for a reading, they're like one-offs. Mentoring, I kind of like to take those people under my wing for a period of time. So it's just what works and what fits, and just offering a little bit more variety.
Now, if somebody wanted to ask you to be their mentor, they would connect with you and through Facebook as well, and then have a little discussion with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean,
do you do mentoring? Do you do mentoring? Just answered that question. Get up my head, Brian. Brian in my head all the time.
Absolutely. I mean, there's different reasons that you mentor. I do some, I mentor very high profile people around the world, which is fine, but we're all in this together. And sometimes we're our greatest obstacle. We cannot see what is blocking our pathway, and it's us. So sometimes having someone who can give you that insight to say, you're really beautiful, but you're standing firmly in your own pathway right now, is enough of an insight to be able to make you go, door, and then be able to change it.
I do that often, the door part. Well, it is 8:28 here, which is about 2 minutes out. So I'm going to say thank you for everybody for coming and for asking. Oh, wait a second now. Let's see. Leo just wrote something, so probably taking about 2 minutes to read. I just want to say thank you for having this show. It gives me something to look forward to every Sunday. Aw, I just love being here. It elevates my mood so much, even if it's just for a little while. This show is my light, and it's like I have a big secret group of friends that no one knows about that are super helpful. It makes the bad days go a little bit faster. It's like I like the routine. I love the energy and the light. I only have 2 sips of coffee, but I feel almost high on the energy here. Thank you, everyone who shows up weekly and sporadically. I probably give it all. I have probably said all this before, but right now I'm going to say it again. Thanks for the laughs and the jokes. Share is the best. I'm grateful for everyone here and this platform to share. It makes my life much better. So thank you. And it bears repeating. Aww. Thank you, Leo. Okay, before we run out of time, thank you, Anastasia. Thank you so much, Jacqueline and Darlene and Brian. This has been a whole set of experience. Yes, it has.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Jackie. And, of course, Mama D. We love you dearly, even though I do take it out of you a bit.
I know. I'll take it out. I'll send you the check in the mail. You are a doll. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys, because it's an honour and a privilege as well. And it's so nice to connect with everyone around the world. And we're all in this together. So thank you so much for having me.
So we'll book you back next year, 2018. Because I know it's a long time to book you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. And we are out for the evening. And I'll see you all next week when we have Carol Patton, your number forecast. Night all.
Bye.